You bought the thing because everyone else bought the thing. That is the whole story, and you already know it. The phone everyone has. The car everyone leases. The neighborhood everyone is moving to. You did not sit down and decide these were the smartest uses of your money. You looked sideways, saw a crowd walking in one direction, and your feet started moving before your brain filed a single objection. Nobody will tell you this, so I will. If you keep buying what everyone buys, you will be broke at 45. Not dramatically broke. Not living in a van broke. Worse. You will be quietly broke while looking completely fine, which is the most expensive kind of broke there is. Let me name the behavior, because it has a name. It is called herding, and it is older than money itself. Your brain runs on a setting it inherited from people who lived in small groups on dangerous land. When everyone around you suddenly ran, you ran too. You did not stop to ask what they were running from. The ones who stopped to ask got eaten. The ones who ran, even for no reason, lived to run another day. So your nervous system learned a simple rule. If the group moves, you move. Asking questions is a luxury for animals that are not being chased. That rule kept your ancestors alive. It is now quietly draining your bank account, because the modern crowd is not running from a predator. The modern crowd is running toward a checkout. Here is the part nobody admits. You think you choose what you buy. You do not. The crowd chooses, and then you write a reason afterward. You see 10 people with the same earbuds, the same shoes, the same kitchen gadget that chops onions, and a quiet feeling rises in you that says, everyone has this. And the brain hears everyone has this and translates it instantly into, I am missing something. Missing. That word is the whole trap. Because loss hurts about twice as much as the matching gain feels good. That is not motivation talk. That is measured. Losing 20 pounds stings about twice as hard as finding 20 pounds delights you. So when your brain decides you are missing out, it is not feeling a mild curiosity. It is feeling a wound. And you will spend real money to close a wound, even an imaginary one. That is what FOMO actually is. Not fear of missing fun. Fear of loss. The marketers figured this out long before you did, and they built the entire economy on top of it. Watch how it works on you. A product launches. A few loud people buy it first. Then a slightly larger group buys it because the first group has it. Then the giant middle group, which is you, buys it because by now it looks like everyone has it. Each layer is just copying the layer in front. Nobody in the chain actually evaluated whether the thing was worth the money. They evaluated whether other people had it. The crowd is not wise. The crowd is just a very long line of people copying the person ahead of them all the way back to a marketing meeting you were never invited to. And the cost of standing in that line is not the price tag. It is everything the money could have become. Let me make the loss real, because this is where it stops being abstract. Say you upgrade your phone every 2 years because the new one is out and everyone has it. The old one still works. It makes calls, it takes photos, it does everything you actually need. But everyone has the new one, so you trade up. Call it £700 or $1,000 every 2 years. Over a working life that is somewhere north of 15,000, just on phones you replaced before they broke. Invested instead at a normal return, that single habit is the difference between a comfortable decade and a frightening one. You did not lose that money at a casino. You lost it 20 pounds at a time, following a crowd, feeling like you were keeping up. That is the trick of herd spending. It never feels like a disaster. It feels like normal. It feels like exactly what a responsible adult does, because everyone around you is doing the same thing at the same speed. You are all sinking together, and because you are sinking together, none of you can see the water rising. This is the second mechanism, and it is the cruelest one. You judge your spending against the people next to you, not against your actual goals. Economists call it the reference point. Your brain does not ask, can I afford this? Your brain asks, do I have what they have? So a billionaire feels poor next to a richer billionaire, and you feel fine buying things you cannot afford as long as your neighbor is buying the same things he cannot afford. You are both broke. You are just broke in formation, so it reads as success. Nobody told you that the people you are copying are not okay. The new car in the driveway is on a 5-year loan. The kitchen renovation is on a credit line. The holiday photos are on a card that will not be paid off before the next holiday. You are looking at the crowd and reading confidence, and the crowd is just debt wearing a nice outfit. You are copying people who are drowning and calling it ambition. Let me say the quiet thing out loud. The reason this is so hard to see is that being broke today looks identical to being rich today. Same phone, same shoes, same restaurant. The difference does not show up in the photo. It shows up 20 years later, when one person has assets and the other person has memories of assets. By the time the difference becomes visible, it is far too late to fix cheaply. And here is the peak, the thing I most need you to hear. The crowd is not your competition. The crowd is your camouflage. As long as you look like everyone else, you never have to face the fact that everyone else is also broke. You hide inside the herd because the herd feels safe, and the herd feels safe precisely because nobody in it is doing well enough to make you feel exposed. You chose mediocrity and called it belonging. That is the engine. Scarcity panic says, move now or lose out. Herding says, move where they move. The reference point says, measure yourself against the people beside you who are also lost. Put those three together, and you get a person who spends their whole life sprinting in a circle, perfectly in step with everyone else, getting nowhere and feeling reassured the entire time because they are not alone. Now, here is the part where I stop hitting you, because none of this is a character flaw. You are not weak. You are not stupid with money. You are running ancient software on a problem it was never built for. The instinct that says, follow the group, was correct for 10,000 years. It only became wrong in the last 100 when the group started being steered by people who profit from your movement. Your wiring is fine. The environment changed and forgot to tell your wiring. So you do not need to become a stronger person. You need to break the copy. And breaking the copy is mechanical, not moral. Here is the off-ramp. First, install a delay. The herd instinct fires fast and fades fast. The wound of missing out feels enormous in the moment and almost nothing a week later. So when you feel the pull to buy what everyone is buying, you do not fight it. You date it. 30 days. Write the thing on a list with the date. If in 30 days you still want it for a reason that is yours and not theirs, buy it. Most of the list will read like a stranger's wish list by then, and you will not even remember why it felt urgent. That gap between the urge and the purchase is where your actual choices live. The herd cannot follow you into a 30-day delay. Second, ask one question before every purchase over a certain size. Would I want this if no one would ever see it? Not, is it good? Not, can I afford it? Would I want it if it were invisible? If the answer is no, you were never buying the thing. You were buying the way the thing makes you look to the crowd. And the crowd, I promise you, is not thinking about you at all. They are too busy worrying about how they look to you. Third, change who you compare yourself to. You cannot turn off the comparison engine. It runs whether you like it or not, but you can choose its target. Right now, it is aimed sideways at the people next to you, the ones in the same line. Aim it forward instead. Compare your money today to your money last year. Compare yourself to the person you are trying to become, not the people you happen to be standing near. The neighbor is not your scoreboard. He is not even keeping score. He is just spending. Fourth, and this is the one that actually changes your life, learn to feel rich by owning what nobody can see. The crowd buys visible things because visible things are how you signal to the crowd. So the moment you start building invisible wealth, savings, investments, paid-off debt, you step out of the competition entirely. Nobody can copy what they cannot see. Nobody can pressure you about a balance they do not know exists. Invisible money is the one thing the herd cannot touch, because the herd only responds to display, and you have stopped displaying. That is the secret the whole game is built to hide from you. The people who actually have money are usually the ones not performing it. The loudest spenders are the most afraid. The quiet ones already won and stopped playing. So here is where it lands. Every time you buy what everyone buys, you are not making a purchase. You are casting a vote for staying exactly where the crowd is. And the crowd is not going anywhere good. The crowd is going broke, slowly, in matching outfits, telling each other it is fine. You can keep your place in that line. It is warm in there. It is reassuring. Nobody will ever judge you because everybody is doing it. And in 20 years, you will be exactly as broke as the people beside you, and you will all agree that the economy did it to you. Or you can step out of the line, not in a dramatic way, just quietly, one delayed purchase at a time, one invisible deposit at a time, until you wake up one day and realize you have not checked what everyone else is buying in months. That is the moment you got free. Not when you got rich. When you stop needing the crowd to tell you what to want. The herd will not miss you. It never knew your name. But your future self, the one with options instead of regrets, will remember the exact day you stopped following and started choosing. Buy what everyone buys, and you will end up exactly where everyone ends up. Look around at that crowd. That is your future. Decide right now if you want it.